This video is about material properties in detail, and therefore I've prepared 3 spheres. It is very common to use primitives for material definition because of less complexity than compared to products, and therefore the sphere is best because of the reflection possibilities. The worst kind of primitives you can use for material definition is a flat surface, especially when you're working with reflecting materials, because the reflection will be depending on your camera position. Since the Iray Plus algorithm is used for rendering, we also have Iray Plus materials available, which are based on XML definition files. And there are some sources in the internet where you can buy or download these Iray Plus materials. And that's especially because the Iray Plus materials are also used by 3ds Max, for example, or keyshot rendering. For material assignment, you really just have to drag and drop the material upon a solid body. I've used a complex material, as you can see, with plenty of details in. As far as you're within the studio mode, for material editing, it's really enough to just do a left click on the related object. In the case of not being in the studio mode, of course, a left click allows you to edit the object. And within the studio mode, you have other options like edit material related. If this thumbnail preview option was enabled, you always get a preview of the material as it would look like within the Ray Trace Studio. And you can see the material display is slightly brighter than compared to the Advanced Studio display. And the display is slightly finer. When you have a closer look at the material, you can see those artifacts which appear on the image boundary and will not appear when being rendered in Ray Trace Studio. Thereby, it's not a must to use the Ray Trace Studio for material definition, but it can help a little bit. A little advice at this point: you can see that the preview image of the system material library is a little bit darker than the preview image within the material editor. This is because the image-based lighting was different when creating the thumbnail than it is now. That really is the only reason and should not be a problem. Now let's have a deeper look at the material properties, in this case car paint carbon fiber. There is always a base material used to define an overall material category, and here you can see the base material is carbon fiber. The name upon here is telling us that there is a kind of additional layer used, because the car paint property is the specular reflection. And for this car paint typical reflection, there was an additional layer used next to the carbon layer. For the definition of a complete new material, you could choose one of these carrier materials from the drop-down list. But instead of creating a completely new material, it is preferred to use one of these system studio materials as a carrier material, because modification is much easier than creating a complete new material. Below the color tab, which is always available independent from the type of material, we got texture lookup. This is meaning that a texture is being used for the color definition. Here you can see the file name. For texture, you can use JPEG, TIFF, or PNG. The difference or the advantage of using PNG or TIFF compared to JPEG is that those file types have an alpha channel which can be transparent. This is useful when you, for example, create a label that contains transparency. By default, this value is set to plain, meaning a color, which is used to define the color of the material. In this case, an image really makes sense. Below geometric, we mostly have an emission layer available, which is here set to none. The emission layer is used if the material itself shall be a light source. NX offers some templates here, for example the watt number, a halogen light or a candle light, for definition of brightness and color of our light source. While opacity, the transparency of a material, is defined. In this case, of course, opacity is not required. But opacity can be useful when you add an additional layer. In general, each layer can have its own transparency. If, for example, a second layer shall just overlap about 50% of the first layer, add a transparency. The last option here is the so-called global texture space box. This is always available and it's always required when working with textures. To configure the size of the carbon fiber, for example, you will have to adjust some of these values. After having applied with the Enter button, NX will calculate the texture, and as you can see, also the preview thumbnail will be adjusted. As you can see, we have a drop-down available with different types, and box is default here. Boxes meaning that from each direction, X, Y, and Z, the chosen image will be projected towards your objects. That's why you can see the artifacts on each positions where X, Y, and Z projection are intersecting. The image is always projected normal to the faces, independent from the view's perspective from X, Y, and Z direction. An alternative here is planar, meaning a projection into only one direction. A projection from Z, for example, will cause a distortion on its perpendicular faces. The spherical option will wrap the image on a sphere. In this case, you can see we have to zoom in or zoom out very, very wide because the scaling of the image is not proper here. I'm going to reset to box. The texture space layer will be discussed in a separate topic. I'm going to apply this material carbon, and we will have a further look at, for example, the material glass. And I'm going to select the solid with the left mouse button and start editing. Here you can see the thumbnail preview of glass. There is no additional layer used. The base type here is glass thin, as you can see, and the color is white, and you can darken the glass if you choose a darker color. Within geometric, you can see there is no additional transparency being defined because of the base type, which already is transparent. Global texture space box, in this case, is not interesting because there is no image defined by default. We can now add a second layer to the glass if we want to create such a milky and matte glass look. You can add a layer via the right mouse button and therefore use diffuse. Diffuse is going to be a layer which is reflecting diffuse and not specular. If you need an additional layer reflecting specular, you might use clear coat, for example. You can also use matte alternatively to diffuse. I'm going to use diffuse here. You can now see this has added some rough reflections to the glass. Of course, caused by the second layer with 50% of transparency. If it wasn't transparent, meaning the value 1 in use, you would only see the new layer. That's why 50% causes a mixture of both. As layer color, you can see white was chosen, and this could be any other kind of color, of course, to give the glass its typical realistic color. I will end this and we'll have a look at the next material from the tab Automotive. It's the carpet. Because within this material, which has a very specific property, a so-called bump map was used. Via left mouse button, I select the material for modification. You can see there is no additional layer, and you can also see that the properties are very similar to carbon fiber. There's a picture being used. Emission layer below geometric is set to none. Opacity is set to 1, of course, because transparency doesn't make sense on a carpet. And the box type is used below global texture space. So let's have a look at what's going to happen if we change the image to plain, for example. Then you can see that there's still some kind of picture in use. But it's not a photo as usual. This is what we call normal map, meaning material roughness is somehow simulated by using dark and bright areas of the image for height and depth. A shadow is caused depending on the lighting, and shadow cast is depending on the lighting direction. You could now change the color of the carpet here. So here you don't need a colored image to change the color of the material. It is really enough to just exchange the original image against the color. A thumb view preview is being generated and displays the look in the Ray Trace Studio. And after you've used the settings of the command to expand it, you can see there is an additional tab for material export. There will be an additional chapter later on which shows up how to import a material and its thumbnail into the System Studio materials.